And we're live, people. Deluded, I'm back again. This must be my fourth bit of content, my third live stream. Hung around like a bad smell. We're trying to aggressively get to 70,000 people. Deluded, I'm back again. Hope you're all doing well and safe in what is now a sunny Tuesday in the United Kingdom. We've had sun, extreme sun, rain, downy weather and everything in between. But you know, us Brits, we love complaining about things. And if I'm complaining about weather, then I have to count my blessings. On the topic of blessings, as I just said, hope you're all having a great start to the week. A great Tuesday. Appreciative in you lot tuning in with myself. Big up KJ, one of the mods, one of the more consistent mods. As the man has said there, smash the like button, people, on the way in. We got a bunch of tabs on the best of days. We definitely have a bunch of things to go over, people, and they're a bit of a mess. Allow me. I've been making content, keeping an eye on updates and things like that, trying to take advantage of the transfer news, man. Hi, guys. How are you guys? Luke, I'm great, man. One love for you saying that, man. I hope everybody is. DG is the Kante of YouTube. High work rate. Ain't called myself that for a while. Appreciate that, man. As Kizzy has said, pay. I'm not going to include these swear words, but pay your rent on the way and big up the man of Kizzy. Appreciative to you. Hit the like button or DG stealing your car. Look at this guy, Nathan. Look at this. Hey, Nathan, you're a troublemaker. You definitely got excluded many a time in school, man. This guy loves trouble, man. As KJ has also said, 100 likes target. Hit the like button from early and everybody tuned in. It doesn't cost a thing. It helps the engagement, man. Appreciate you, Valora. Appreciate you. Subscribe as well if you're not there. DG with the high press. Yeah, man, you know what? You got to try, man. You know, the summer statistically is the best time on YouTube to grow. So why not milk it, man? Do you think we could be... I don't know, ostracizing Gyökeres for 5 years? I'm not gonna lie. What does that word mean? If it's a word, I can't comment on things I don't know, people. So yes, I was gonna have to dumb that one down. Big up, Snipe. Been in Tenerife for 4 weeks. Man's back now. Miss Bear streams, but saw your work. G bless. Appreciate you. I hope you had a great week. A great 4 weeks, better yet, in Tenerife. I'm a bit jealous. I want to go on holiday, man. How was it, man? You clearly liked it because you was there for a minute. You naughty lad. You naughty lad. SP. I don't know that word either, man. I can't say what I thought was the first thought going into my head, but why for that is what I'd say. I don't know, man. I hope it isn't. But what I will say is big up Gyökeres, get the signing done, get me my Eze. I'm not on the Madueke thing, man. People, I know, man. I always maintain I'll give the man an opportunity. I'll give him a chance. Again, from a human point of view, not that footballers or managers or anyone connected with football necessarily care what the fans quote unquote think. But if he was, I don't think he's... I like to be honest, innit? I don't rate Madueke like that. I don't really believe in him. But if I was him and I saw that, I'd be a bit upset in it. So I'm open to be proven wrong. If you sign for Arsenal and you do your thing, great. But especially where I don't want to say we're working with a limited budget in it. Like we hear war chest and powder dry. Even if we were working with a limited budget, or we know we've got 200 odd million to spend, yeah, and we've committed 50 odd million to Zubamendi. You know, we're about to commit, I'd say, about 70 million for Gyökeres. You add in the 5 for Kepa, the 10 million odd for Norgaard, and anything else I've missed out, potentially the Mascara U, in which I think somebody's commented. Where's that comment gone? Pat, so I don't know, man. It seems like radio silence, but he's got a year left on his deal. You'd imagine that one there gets done. When you start factoring in these things, you do have money for Eze. Go get that. Do you really have 40-50 million for Madueke now? Fair enough. You're going to have to live or die by it. If you walked into this summer window and knowing that you're going to get one of Sesko and Gyökeres, the dream would be to get your Rodrigo. You've looked at Eze for about a year or two because those rumors were there. You're trying to get him. And Madueke was something you're planning for. Boy, you're going to have to live or die by that. Like, the only thing I would say of Madueke is you could be a good depth option if you do get me an Eze or Rodrigo. I don't think we're signing Rodrigo. A bunch of clubs are throwing their hats into the ring. I think we got a chance of Eze. And if I completely disregard Rodrigo, I need you to get Eze in more. Because for me, Eze can play in a bunch of places. We all know he can play in bunch of roles in midfield, 8 or 10, probably a better option off the right-hand side than Madueke or any of the existing options at the moment. You know, if Arteta wanted, he could play as a false 9, could play in the 10. I don't expect him to exclusively play off that left, but assuming Eze signed for Arsenal Football Club today, you are better off that left-hand side. You're an upgrade, evidently, on Martinelli and Trossard. If I assume some rumours that Arteta has in his mind he can transform Madueke into a left winger, at the moment of you walking into the club, it's more of the same. I don't think you're necessarily terrible. You're not inspiring. You don't take us to the next level. It's a bit of an expensive squad player, but I don't think you're terrible. But to have you, Trossard and Martinelli, subject to the two that are at the club's speculation already, I don't know what we're getting. I don't know if you're an upgrade. I don't know what I'm getting. I don't know I'm getting over 10 games, let alone 38, or at least a medium. And again, if we want to be a team that's second, does a little surprise in the Champions League, good top 6 record, we've got enough. We can bet on that. But we've also got a lot of questions. And you see, if you want to go a step beyond that to actually win a Premier League or Champions League or get things over the line, those questions need to have answers. Now, Gyökeres, the only questions are, can it translate into the Premier League and all of that jazz? But you're a goal scorer, so we've answered that. You and Saka can shoulder the burden. I need them numbers on the left-hand side, or I need someone to believe in on that left-hand side. And I wouldn't be inspired with Madueke. I'm not going to lie. I don't see how it takes us to the next level. I really don't. I hear that, longevity and the wages and all those things, but it's not making sense. And if Madueke is your guy, Mikel Arteta, great. If you get me Rodrigo and Eze, even greater. But if Madueke is your guy, just make sure next May 2026 there's a parade in Islington. Because what's going on? I can't lie, real ones know I've been advocating for this Gyökeres brother for a good 2 years now. I personally think by the time this guy's done, he'll brock Henry's record. Me and KJ got a zip on it. He bags 30 plus. Try and keep 30 plus is a big ox. It's a big ox. I do think the exchange rate from Portuguese league to the Premier League, there's going to be a bit of an exchange rate, but he strikes me as someone conservatively that could get us 15 league goals. We're aspiring for 20. Where I put a cap on it is obviously the dynamics are different. And you could get me my Rodrigo, Eze, Gyökeres, we got Saka, all the guys we want. I think there's a lot tactically for Mikel Arteta to evolve, because a lot of the things we talk about with recruitment and tactics, we never found out none of that last season. We've known for a couple of years left wing is an area we need to address. Even when Martinelli had that great season, we know we need to address that. We've been knowing about strikers. We know if you lock down Bukayo Saka and you do the deep and low blocks or in issues, we know we can move the ball a bit quicker. We know there's something to be said with that left-hand side. We're very lopsided. Equally, we know we don't penetrate central areas, and we know about the depth. All of these things are stuff we know. So if we're just common men and women football fans, people that are paid big amounts of money, have all the resources, are paid, to learn from hindsight and apply foresight, and even foresight on top of that. But you have to get this summer right. You have to get this summer right. And I don't know how 40, 50 million for Madueke does. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do, innit? DJ, I promise you this brother is going to mash up this league. I hope so. I just want you to be someone I can look at. Yeah, you're going to be a part of the golden boot conversations. Again, I think people get in the trap of assuming the 14 draws we had are purely down to us not putting the ball in the back of the net. There are a lot of factors, but there is also that. Like, there's been games, there's also elements in the Premier League where everything goes wrong. You've just been shit. Can you win? If we could have turned 14 draws into 7 with a striker, and we won 7 of those, so the draws are half, we won half of those. Only God knows what we're talking about. But unfortunately, as Arsenal fans, we have found ourselves for the last 3 years doing the ifs and buts and the coulda, woulda, shoulda. We need to seize the present moment, and we need to get this stuff right, man. We need to get this stuff right. We need depth. We need quality. I understand on occasion you have to buy players to be squad players, like, Liverpool bought Endo to fill a gap. We've obviously bought Norgaard. You could extend that to Kepa. I understand that. But generally, is it too far-fetched to assume that sometimes we can go and get players that are starting quality, and a byproduct of that is players become squad players? I'm exaggerating. But if you were to sign Lamine, just to paint an example, if you were to sign Lamine Yamal, who's at the moment playing off the right-hand side, Saka might become the number 2 or the squad player. So can we start to do that? Everything's got to be right. Will there be money for January also? We're jumping the headline hard, man. We need to deal with this summer. January is a difficult time. And I don't know, because there's money available. Remember that year, what was it? The year we missed out on top 4. I'm sure I might be making this up, but I'm sure we played Spurs and we lost, and we played Newcastle and we lost. Spurs made signings. I think they got Kulusevski and Bentancur that summer. That January, apologies. We were linked with Vlahovic. We didn't do it. We all know last summer, rightly or wrongly, what's going on. So money's available, but the club has shown they will make unpopular decisions. Gyökeres getting number 14 shirt confirmed. Where did you see that? I need to see him walk in at the moment. Big up, DG. How would you feel about Liverpool signing Rodrigo? Not going to lie, I'm worried. I mean, they needed better attackers on the best of days. I've said where Liverpool's concerned, for me personally, I would say, when you look at the front line, beyond Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo, even though Cody Gakpo was linked with Bayern, I'm not saying they're all going to leave, but it seemed a bit muddied. RIP Jota, that even puts case on them to sign a player more. Again, rest in peace, Diego Jota. But he was someone that maybe could leave, maybe couldn't, didn't really convince all of the Liverpool fans. Diaz, 1 minute is Saudi, then it's Barca, then it's Liverpool. And the Liverpool fans I speak to, they get angry every time he plays for Colombia people, because they're like, where's that guy? Darwin Núñez, in my opinion, I don't know what's going on now, probably look to be the one that would be shifted on. So they probably want an out-and-out number 9 and a left winger. And obviously they've got Curtis Jones and Harvey Elliott and all these guys that can mix and blend and play out wide, even Wirtz. But Rodrigo's a statement. I personally feel it, where Liverpool fans are concerned and Arne Slot, they're probably all happy as Larry, because they won the league and they did their thing. You know, the post-Klopp era is great, but they done their manager, the new manager at the time. The last summer Liverpool had, it was horrible. Like, look what you've given the first manager of the post-Klopp era. You've given him a half-fit Chiesa. Now they're obviously spending the bag, and Rodrigo would be a statement, because I do feel it's a bit different, because Liverpool actually get over the line, and you know they got Klopp, who had experience, not necessarily working with mad amounts of money. Michael Edwards as well. There's kind of parallels between how Liverpool are run and how Arsenal Football Club are run. But that would be a statement. Rodrigo, everybody's going to throw their hat into the ring for a minute. In my opinion, Man City will get involved whether they need him or not. Chelsea buy more players than we can count. They get involved. I don't think United have the facilities, but they'll try and do that. Paris Saint-Germain, undoubtedly, you know, would look at a player like Rodrigo. And then there's us. I think we could sell him a good project. I think he would listen. Whether we're able to get him over the line is another thing, which is why, for me, get Gyökeres confirmed, get Eze in. Well, they're going to get Madueke in it, but if it was up to me, get Eze. As much as I like Rodrigo, it feels like you have a genuine chance of bringing Eze to the carpet. So bring Eze, bring Gyökeres. Fight tooth and nail to get Rodrigo, but then simultaneously we hear Berta likes to pivot. Whoever that left winger is that might not have the same clout in the game as a Rodrigo, go and bring someone else in it. I don't know how Madueke turns us to the next level. All I can hope is that it's some sort of a master class and a master stroke. I don't think you're bad. I don't even think you're good, man. Is what it is. I see DJ's added new words to his grammar. Man's not saying really and truly no more. Allow me, man. What's going on, bro? Once Gyökeres is confirmed with my question, what do you mean? DG, let me ask you, why is Arsenal and Arteta so obsessed so much for Chelsea? I don't know, man. Maybe there's brown envelopes going on. I don't know. That's why I think also the Madueke thing is going to happen, because we're hearing we want to spend 40 million. They're on 50. Think about it logically. If you're in Chelsea's case and you know Arsenal are repeat clients, you might let them win that one. Okay, we'll give you 10 million discount, because we know that the track record speaks for itself. When Czech needed to cut, Havertz needed to cut, when Sterling needed to leave on a temporary basis, when Kepa's going to go, we're there in it. So it is what it is. I'd rather Lookman over Madueke 1,000,000%. Gyökeres, Eze, Rodrigo, next Jan/summer, Hato and Agormi. I reckon it makes sense for Hato to stay one more year in Ajax. You got a World Cup year. It's a big club. You're 19. The move is going to happen. You will get that move either to Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, 3 clubs who have been linked with him, Real Madrid, who have been sniffing around and whatnot. And you know what? It wouldn't be too far-fetched to think at some point in my life, I'd expect to see Hato, Konate, and Saliba all play for them. What is your top 5 Arsenal home kits, DG? Great question. Random, but great question. 04, the one in the 2000s, the 04 home kit. Favorite's a techie one, man. The last one at Highbury. Last season's one, I actually feel recent years been good, but I'm not going to say that. The one we wore Jesus first year. And I don't think I got 5, man. Yeah, man. Louder save the whole thing, man. I'm not on it, man. Like, you lot know me. I love youth football. I love young players. I don't really care where you find the players. If you can bring me established stars, if you can bring me players that nobody's ever watched and they become great, it is what it is. But under the guise of needing to deliver now, I feel there's too much potential. Even looking at Madueke, potentially could be a good left winger. Don't really know what you're going to get. And I don't want to write someone off. And clearly, if we're going to sign Madueke to the point where personal terms have been agreed, they've done their character references. But you have seen, you know, Maresca question his work rate, question his desire. Chelsea fans say he gets complacent. He's a sort to score a goal and just relax. Question marks his work ethic defensively, almost like he's complacent. I'm not beyond everything I've said. It don't make sense. So I'm not even going to get mad at Madueke in the sense that I can't get mad at you lot signing Kai. I can't get mad at Kai Havertz for you lot signing Kai Havertz. No one put a gun to your head to do that. No one put a gun to your head to try him in midfield, then fell upwards playing him up front, or essentially live or die by him scoring goals. And to be fair, if we cut the crap in the lot since Kai Havertz has gone up front or been at this club, barring Bukayo Saka, he's been the closest thing to consistent in that regards. And this is someone we describe as not being clinical. Are you building your house on the sand? Are the foundations the right way? Are we being competent? As I said, if we want to get to the next level, we need to know what we're getting. We need to know Saka's getting X amount. We need to, in terms of goals and assists. The left-hand side is bringing X amount. Your striker, Gyökeres, is getting you 15, 20 plus. As someone said in the chat, 30 odd. Then, you know, you can have your Havertz's and Marinos and Martinelli's and Trossards and shit. Even Madueke chipping in here and there. How much times we're going to do the same things and expect different results? It's not making sense personally. Mods, please make sure we're getting people to smash the like button. To the 56 of you who have, appreciative, man. To those of you who haven't, what's going on? It don't cost a thing. Don't you think we should go for Rodrigo before Eze, especially according to reports? Rodrigo's prioritizing us and Eze is very keen. Don't you think we should go harder for the deal first? Nope, because if Eze wants to join us, go and get that done, man. Nah, man. It seems like there's way more moving parts, in my opinion, at Real Madrid than at Crystal Palace. He's got a release clause. Apparently, he wants us. He's got a year left on his deal. We're hearing, we're going to get into all of that. Quicker we get to 100 likes, the quicker we go over stuff, people. I lost my trail of thought. Yeah, release clause, probably an acceptance that Crystal Palace is going to leave. Wants us, has that kind of ilk about playing for Arsenal. They've showed their hand. For Real Madrid, we still don't know. It feels like every day that goes on, he probably could leave. You know, the Endrick being played as a right winger and Arda Güler and the youth they're getting from Argentina probably means he's becoming someone, you know, his role is being diminished. He's going to be on big wages because, again, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but if you want to sign Rodrigo, you have to go against the grain. You know how much you're paying Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus. You know that them two's wages probably had a knock-on effect for Saliba and Saka in any sort of negotiations, and that's going to increase a tenfold with a Rodrigo signing. And don't get it twisted. As good as Berta is in the world of football and his experience, he's got a background in finance. Look at the wages. That's probably an added carrot of him being brought in. I just think Rodrigo, I mean, I can't lie. Hand of Arsenal said he's on Arsenal, but I think it's an open race for Rodrigo. There's too many moving parts. We still are yet to hear he's made abundantly clear to Real Madrid, I want to cut. Nor have Real Madrid said abundantly he wants to leave. Get me my Eze. Get some outgoings, and then you can flirt with this, man. Look at the coping, which means Liverpool when Diaz moves, if he moves. I don't think we're getting Rodrigo anyways, man. Instead of Rodrigo, Arsenal should go for Lookman. I don't know for instead, but yeah, Lookman on the wing and play Eze in midfield, Eze in a true winger. But how many true wingers are there in today's day and age? And if they are, what clubs are they playing for? And if they are, what goals are they getting? Saka's not a true winger. I know we're nitpicking, but it's an inside forward stuff. It's like you got the byline, you've got obviously the opposition's area, and they're in that half space. Salah isn't like that even. The wingers are central in many ways. In many ways, the touchline wingers, it's more the manager's just using you on a tactical thing. If anything, that makes me want Eze more. But then you do kind of want, that's where you need a fit Calafiori, maybe even another left back. You want someone to make those runs, man. We need to stop being lopsided, man. We really do. Lookman doesn't take us to the next level. He might not, but if you're linked with Lookman, and I know what he's about, Mass is poor, 4 or 5 years older than Madueke. If you're linked with Madueke, surely you could go for Lookman. I know people say he flopped in the Prem and this and that, but who's done more in the game of football? He's returning back to this country, a European champion, African Player of the Year, or something of that ilk. I'm willing to bet on him a lot more than Madueke, if I'm honest with you. Leave me without Lookman. Lookman better than Martinelli and Madueke. Eze don't take man on the wing successfully. I feel like he looks better in midfield. I think he's good on Arsenal. But bring him 10-8 out wide right wing. Even that, he's better. In my opinion, he's better than Madueke in Madueke's probably favoured position. But there ain't nothing I can do. If we want to elevate, big up Rashid, man. If we want to elevate this team and go from second to a winning club, we need winners. Rodrigo is a serial winner, and that would send a message to other big clubs. I won't lie to you, yeah, it would send a message to other big clubs, but I'm at the point where I don't give a flying fuck about sending messages to other big clubs. Let's just get, let's just get the players in, get them up, improve ourselves tactically, and get over the line. We need some outgoings ASAP. It will give us a better idea of who we can realistically bring in. Berta's got to juggle several plates, man, because we've got players on big wages. We're kind of reliant now. Who's really left this football club so far? Marquinhos has been shipped out. Tommy Asu's contract's been ripped up. And again, going back to being an accountant, I actually feel last summer we was looking at it from a sporting perspective. Like, you know what? We took the Premier League race to the last day of the season. If we do X, Y, Z, it's going to be all right. And maybe the club did that, but I genuinely think there was a remit to make some money, as shown with Ramsdale, Smith Rowe, and Eddie Nketiah, decent fees for them. And I do think there's an ilk of that as well, because Arteta and Edu came in, cleaned up the wages. We've messed it up again. We've got players. And again, I'm not a pocket watcher. I don't really care what these players get, if I'm completely honest with you. If anyone deserves money in football, it's the footballers. They don't play, we don't pay. But we're at where we're at with Jesus. Wasn't the guy we thought, got injured in Brazil, and now we're at where we're at. Kai Havertz, probably should have got him for a lot cheaper. Zinchenko's on big wages. Nelson is still chilling on 100k. Fair enough. Partey's cut, Tini's cut, Jorginho's cut. That frees up some, but there is a remit to do that. And again, like any of us want away, the players that we actually need to move on. This is where Berta's going to earn his money. Zinchenko's a good player, but are people going to be rushing to buy him necessarily? Nelson the same, Fabio Vieira the same. Oh yeah, we've let Tavares go. Lokonga the same. I don't know, man. Eze over Rodrigo any day. Obviously, I'd rather Rodrigo. He's Rodrigo in it. I want to get excited about players, but for me, I'd rather put my attention towards Eze. You've got more of a realistic chance of doing that. I mean, I can't see anything, but if I could see if we sign both, it'd be amazing. Anyone taking Rashford over Madueke? I mean, I'm inclined to say yes, but I'll say no because to be fair to Madueke, you're going to be on significantly less wages. If we put you in the position in the squad you should be, which is a squad player, I can live with that. The thing that will make me live or die, breathe a lot comfortably with the Madueke stuff is if you get me my Eze, my Rodrigo in addition to that. And obviously, if it somehow works, like again, I'll hold my hands up. Madueke signs for us and he looks sick off that left-hand side, or it looks, I have to see it become a masterclass. Jorginho, Nelson, Zinchenko, Tini, Partey, Fabio Vieira is like 700k a week in wages alone, and hopefully get some more. Like, and again, I don't think Kivio's on bare money and things like that, but his future's subject to speculation. So we're gonna have to see, man. Would you be happy with Gyökeres and Eze and Saka, DG? Yeah, that's a calm front three, man. I mean, Rashford, if we were to get Rashford, like, you got to do the loan thing like with Sterling, man. We'll take on some of his wages and just keep it moving. DJ, I was listening to Jason Cundy. He would be disappointed if he left. He says he's very direct and a handful, and O'Hara agreed. Are we sleeping on Madueke? Be honest, he's been balling for England. I mean, Jason Cundy's a Chelsea man. The other one's a Spurs man. Obviously, he is an England international. He's clearly not terrible, but come on, man. That's not taking us to the next level. Unless he signs for us and he becomes that Saka on the left-hand side, it's dead. There's too much question marks about his work rate, about his consistency, about his complacency. For obvious reasons, I don't want to do that. But in terms of his attitude, which I don't really believe the attitude one, because I don't think we're going to sign him without that. It don't really make sense. The only things I could say in that goal for him is not really his attitude, but his attitude, because I think he thinks he's better than what he is. And I don't mean that in a disingenuous way, because I've said this before. There's players that throughout my 30 years that I've seen, you couldn't get the ball off them in a phone box. They got vision, can dribble, can do everything, but they don't believe in themselves. At least he believes in himself. He is 23. If I'm his agent, I'm trying to get 100k, if I'm honest with you. But the only way, it all depends. Madueke has to show us that he's a baller, and you have to bring in an Eze or Rodrigo or random Joe Blogs that is better than what we got, because I just see three man that play off that left-hand side. Of course, you can deputize for Bukayo Saka and all that jazz, but nah, man, there's too many. We're signing too many players. We have to squint and talk about upside, like Gyökeres, whether it works or not. God willing, it does. Evidently, you can see what he's bringing. When we got Rice, evidently. For me, I would say with Timber, because I was gassing him up, evidently. I'm going to say the same with Zubamendi. Evidently. Fair enough, Norgaard. No one ain't expecting fireworks, but squad player, durability, can do a thing. Evident seeing you're bringing something. Beyond just being a body and maybe alleviating some pressure off Bukayo Saka and maybe being a match winner on some occasions off the bench, I can't see it. Is he necessarily better at this moment in time? Is he necessarily a stronger option than Martinelli, than Trossard? If you think he is, then fair play. And my thing is not even to say if he is or not. If it's not evident, what's the point? And the only point where it makes sense is if you bring in someone better than him. Arteta, you told me about goosebumps. You said what we needed to do. Make it happen. Make it happen. I want Rodrigo because he goes straight left wing. Eze and Madueke come into the team as squad members. And we need a squad. Madueke can't be a starter. Either Eze or Rodrigo need to be starters. I mean, I'll be amazed if we get all three or two of the three names. But yeah, I'd take Diaz at Liverpool over Madueke. I'd take Diaz 100% over Madueke. There's players I'll take over Madueke. I'd rather us go and do the youngster thing. Go and buy one of them Monaco youths or Lyon youths and then do that, if I'm honest. Should offer Trossard plus cash for Liao. I don't really buy the Liao rumours. And I like Liao, but I think he's overrated. And what I mean by that is quality player. Question marks about you defensively. Not really an issue because if you buy into wanting to defend, of course you can run back. But over 10 games, as much as I'll be gassed, as Rafa Leao, he's killer on the transition skills, level raiser. Well, he's better than the left wing options we've got now. Over 10 games, I don't know what I'm getting. The first three, you might be the best player in the world. The next three, you might be the worst player in the world. And then the other, what? Well, yeah, you get the point. The other 3, 6, the other 4 games, indifferent. Where I struggled there, innit? Big mass. So yeah, I just want players I can bet on, man. Because if we want to get to the next level, we need to know, there might be a game in the Premier League, tactics out the window, Saka's playing shit. We're all like, everything's fucked. And we can just get out of jail. Gyökeres, bang. 3 points. Yeah, we can bitch about, we weren't good enough. We need to do better next week. But 3 points, bang. Go and look at how Liverpool won the title. There was many a games that was in knife edge. I'm sure if you ask Onslaught, they weren't at their best. Even when we finished second, a lot last season, but when it was more glamorous, us fighting for the title, there was a case of that. There is games where everything goes wrong. You just need to get over the line. Equally, there's tight games where you just need someone to do a bit of individual brilliance. We more see that in the Champions League. As romantic it was against Real Madrid, Paris Saint-Germain, the first 20 minutes in that second leg, we still could have went out. I'm not saying we could have went through, but Odegaard had that shot. Rice went close. I think Partey had an effort. If you have a Gyökeres or Rodrigo or an Eze and we score 2 goals within that first 20 minutes, it changes games. And this is what I mean. If we want to go to actually realize that reality rather than for the last 3 years sitting here and doing the ifs and buts and coulda and woulda and shoulda, you know what we need to do, man? Are you watching and have not liked? Are you mad? Smash the likes. Come on, Kay. Tell them again. Big up, Tim, man. Sell Trossard, keep Martinelli, buy Rodrigo. I think Trossard's probably the easy one to go. 20 million, not long left on his deal. Martinelli, it's all fun and games, into like sitting here and entertaining Barcelona links, Bayern Munich links, and all of these things with you, Saudi links. We're reliant on him actually wanting to go to Saudi. We ain't gone through the news yet, mate. We get to 100 likes, we go over them things, man. Where are we at now? 88. Let's keep it up. Liao is overrated, in my opinion. I'd take Eze instead of Liao. I would love Liao. And that's what Liverpool, Salah bailed them out enough times, and that's what has to happen. I've seen City do that, but don't get twisted, invincibles. We had bare draws. I know people are stupid and they're like, oh my God, they were invincible, but they had 12 draws. Like that means anything. That just tells me that we know how to salvage something. There's a famous saying, if you can't win, don't lose. Our game management needs to go up. We need to kill games when the chances are there, not just 2-0, 3-4, which could have helped us beat Aston Villa. We need to have a bit more street smart with closing out games. We need our manager in game and going into games to be a bit less predictable. We've spoken about low blocks and mid blocks and that sort of stuff and central areas and how the left-hand side is and all of these things. All of these issues we've known for the last few years. And the saddest thing for me is when it's all said and done, you need to seize the present. I don't want it to be, I'm not here to do all of that. But fundamentally, the last 3 years, different contexts, different protagonists, different form, different players. We finished second. You need to seize the present. One love for getting us out of the dirt where we were in the past prior to this 3-year, bordering on 4-year period with the season coming. We've not got over the line. And these players are good at that. With a bit of help, they can. Player for player, collective squad. This is some of the best periods we've had at the Emirates. Not that there's many. Everything at this club has been geared towards winning. People can mock Arsenal and laugh, but once you get beyond that, when you look at actual football, people that understand sport, or even in the world of business, creating a team, see all of that. Win the dog and the morals of the former Arsenal legends and the whole Liverpool Anfield stuff. All of that is geared towards winning. And even with the speakers, people buy it. But now look, we're actually quite decent at tough and hostile environments. We don't get battered. We might lose, but we don't get battered. Everything is geared towards winning, apart from actually winning. And I need the fans, like myself. We need to be at Wembley. We need to be enjoying, because that's the moments you want to be in. But the players, I need them to be. Obviously, I'd love to win the Prem and the Champs. That's the first one when you think of trophies. But pick up the League Cups, create that winning mentality, whet the appetite. Some of you have wives or girlfriends and whatnot, If you don't tell her she's pretty, she might stop believing it. And that's just a little reminders. Arteta, I think you're a good coach. Are you a winning coach? And every year you don't do that, it's getting louder and louder and louder and louder and louder. What happened to SB and Catch? I thought them boy there was here today. Big up SB and Catch. Make sure you're following them on the catch. I don't know who told you that though. He'd make more on bonuses and we'd have a bonus incentivized wage structure. I mean, you get more money at Arsenal than Liverpool. But if I'm Rodrigo, and obviously living in London, but if I'm in Rodrigo, Liverpool's a big club. The left-hand side is right there. They've just, in recent years, I say that subjectively, they've won the Prem. Well, they won the Prem last year. They've won the champs. It's an open book. Liverpool have a case that they can say for Rodrigo. Manchester City, fair enough, they fell off, but it's still Manchester City, it's still Pep Guardiola. Paris Saint-Germain, yeah, people could say, oh, he's not going to play on the left-hand side. How many times in the modern day do you see wingers swapping? They do that at PSG. And Rodrigo might say, you know what? I know I want to play off the left-hand side, but I might just forget that because I'm going to have more importance in this PSG squad. They're treating him like a little man at Madrid now. It's Madrid. Facts finished. Need to finish games off. That's been our weakness last season. Exactly. Even the defensive stats. We're up there for goals and defensive stats. But when you look at it, we squandered a lot of goals, a lot of leads from winning positions. We conceded a lot from set pieces. When I say defending, I throw game management into that. Like Aston Villa at home, the best case, where you've gone 2-0 up. It's all mad. Do you get where I'm going? I hope that Gyökeres talk is not a smokescreen to sign Sesko, but Liverpool would prefer to sell Kanate this summer than risk losing him on a free. I mean, if you're Gerhi, that's good. And I mean, Liverpool, you want to learn from the Trent thing, innit? Because that was an academy boy who ran down this deal. At the end of the day, I'm sure Kanate loves Liverpool and the memories, but it's essentially a job. He grew up in France, innit? So yeah, man, it's not about being good. I'm not really interested in what we're good at. Take the good and make it great. It's the evident failings or areas we struggle at on and off the field, tactics, all of that. You improve that. That's going to get us over the line. An ITK Chelsea coach tells me he has an attitude problem. Channel the attitude problem in the best way because Bergkamp, Henry, Vieira, they were all difficult characters, you know. It's just they knew when to be humble, bro. We're getting go, he says, calm. Then the Eze left wing, left 10 is a madness. Does the winning the Community Shield mean anything this year? Asking because of the amount of changes to the Liverpool team. I mean, if you're in it, you want to win it, innit? I don't think Liverpool or anyone that wins the Community Shield, English Super Cup, is sitting there and dreaming about it. But you're out there at Wembley. It's a game. You might as well win, innit? And set the tone. Pardon me. Reason why I think Rodrigo chooses us over them, our Brazilian contingent would be a big thing of climatizing. It plays a part, more added percentages, but really, I'm not sure it goes that far because at the end of the day, Rodrigo, you're your own man. You need to do your own thing. Do you think Arteta has to change a few things in his system to get the best out of Gyökeres? I think he has to, and it's exciting to see what we do next season. I might do a video on this, but this is what I mean by Mikel Arteta signing Gyökeres is Pep Guardiola's Haaland moment. No, I am not comparing Gyökeres to Haaland. Of course, I hope they're up there for goals and things like that. But once again, we live in a day and age where strikers aren't necessarily prolific. Strikers have, in my opinion, a very difficult job. You've got to pull out to the left, pull out to the right, drop deep, be a sacrificial lamb so that midfield runners can benefit or the inside forwards. Gyökeres can do a bit of that. And then you still got to be expected to be in the box and score sometimes with only 3-4 chances, which on some games you will, some games you won't. But that's what I mean. In that I think Gyökeres can do that stuff a lot better than Haaland. And I'm not here to get at the Haaland thing. Arteta's got to meet him halfway. I need you to do 50, 60% or whatever of what I demand from a striker, what we've seen loosely with away from the goals, which Gyökeres, this is all we care about, with what you've seen Marino do, with what you've seen Kai Havertz do, with what you've seen Jesus do. You got to do a bit of that, but then equally he's got to tweak it because, bro, at the end of the day, you think of Gyökeres, Glock 9, Gyökeres, you think of goals, innit? You think of goals. Put him in situations where he's going to score. I don't really care about this heading thing. If you can improve your headers, great stuff. Because if you get 2 chances and 2 of them are headers, Gyökeres, I need you to put the ball in the back of the net. But people are nitpicking, in it. And completely off topic, but some Arsenal fans crying about Gyökeres, even if you wanted Sesko. Some are doing mad crying. They have a fancy Sesko, or you'd think we're signing some random guy off the pub. But in relation to the headers, bro, the other man can score. Havertz, you come off the bench, score. Marino, you can do all right with your head. Saliba, Gabriel Magalhaes, Benjamin White, all you man that normally chip in from set pieces, you lot do the heading thing. But Yeah, he's got to tweak things, and that's why I like the Gyökeres signing, because you do need players that fit the system and all of that kind of jazz. But I do think at Arsenal we're mainly the way people talk on social media. We're in that trap of, is it an Arteta player? Da, 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 da. Sometimes you need players that go against the script. We want us to be a bit unpredictable. Unpopular opinion, I don't necessarily want Arteta to change what he's been doing in the last 3 years. This has got us here, the low blocks, the mid blocks, the inverting, and all that. I just want us to be flexible. There might be times, I'm exaggerating, but you might have to start a back three or change to a back three, or wingers swapping, or different roles in midfield. There might even be games, as I said, to go back to a point, first 10 games of the season, Gyökeres might bag in 9 of them. But then there might be a KG, the 10th game might be KG. He might not be doing it. Saka might be struggling. Everyone's struggling. Kai Havertz might come off the bench and just chip in. This is why you need a squad. This is genuinely why you need a squad. And I do think football fans get amnesia, because we've known this for a minute. Big up Views on Sport. It's the ego of this coach, and he hasn't won anything yet. That makes me cringe. Bit harsh to say he's got an ego, man. I would love to, but myth. I'll give Madueke a chance, but I'm not going to sit here and act like it's some mad signing and it's whatever. I just have to hope it's a masterstroke. Striker is a sticky one because Jota was staying, no doubt, but now it's PRP Jota, exactly. But I just feel anyone that's not Mohamed Salah and Cody Gakpo, I just feel, obviously prior to the terrible news about Jota, I don't think Jota would have been forced out. But I think if there was offers for Nunes, for Jota, for Diaz, for Harvey Elliott, there's they're entertaining them, Liverpool, I feel. Chiesa can throw him in. Are we giving Josh Nichols for Eze? Allegedly, do that tomorrow. Big up, Josh. It's not going to happen here, is it? It's not going to happen here. So go ahead and do that. Get that done. Smash the like button. I'm not sure if Eze has the legs to play on the wing. What makes PSG so good is Bacola, Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Doué. They're all rapid and skillful. You need 2 players to mark them. And they've got Bear. And they're interchangeable. If we were to go and look at a random PSG starting 11 right now, you might see Ruben Neves as the deepest, like the 6. We saw it at Arsenal, or anyone has seen it with PSG. Sometimes he's the furthest man forward. And I did mention the swapping wingers. We need a bit of that. Dembele's become a false 9, even for Mikel Arteta. These are kind of things he's going to have to learn, not just at Arsenal, but in your whole coaching career, really and truly. You're going to have to, man. Come on, respect to all, man. Leao is strong, man, suits the physicality of the Prem. It's true, but I need this. I need this. There's a player in Leao. There's a player. But I just feel for the money they're going to ask. I am a bit impatient. You don't know me. I love youth football and development and all of that kind of stuff. And I don't want that to stop. But I mean, what you see is what you get. Like Gyökeres, what you see is what you get. He's 27. Like, it's not that he can't improve or learn different things, but what you see is what you get. What we've seen of Eze in his career at 27, what you see is what you get. I think Zubimendi, you're going to see a lot more from it. Kind of like what you see how Arteta's changed Declan Rice. I think you're going to see more than just doing the 6 stuff with Zubimendi. 26, what you see is what you get. Need a couple of them, I feel, especially in the attacking rank. Let's be honest, if we divided our defensive unit, our midfield unit, and our striking unit or attacking unit, it's the attacking unit that's a bit, Saka's doing all the work for the group to pass the uni exams and whatnot. We know our defenders, give or take, generally there's a certain level. Midfield has changed a bit, but fair enough. Norgaard, Premier League experience, what you see is what you get. We know what Rice can do in the 6 and the 8. We know I think I know what Zubimendi's bringing to the table. Obviously, Odegaard's form was off a cliff, but generally does whatever. We all know Marino and Kai Havertz mix and blend in this. The attacking unit. We're not going to get out the hood with Kai Havertz as our starting striker. You don't know I love Martinelli and Trossard. It's a randomness. Over a 38-game period, 5 games you're amazing, 5 games you're indifferent. You know, it's whichever one's in a purple patch, and then when it ends, you throw in the other one. It's not like, unless beyond being squad players, it's not going to bang. Saka, we know what he's going to do. Wanyeri, I hope you sign a contract. We know what he's on, but he's young. Too much unanswered questions. Obviously, Gyökeres is coming true, but too much unanswered questions, and you can't win titles like this. You can't win titles like this. We've got 100 odd likes. A promise is a promise. Big up you lot, people. Tab police, look away. Keep your thoughts coming because we've got a lot to go over. Arsenal push to meet Viktor Gyökeres' deadline as Sporting set asking price. Arsenal and Sporting hope to agree a deal for Viktor Gyökeres before the striker is due to report for pre-season training on Friday. An agreement is yet to be struck between the clubs, but negotiations are ongoing. Standard Sport reported on Sunday how Arsenal's current proposal of 65 million euros in brackets, 56 million pounds plus 15 million euros, which equates to 13 million pounds in add-ons, is not enough and will need to be increased. Fair enough. That's our first offer. Reports in Portugal state Sporting want more than 80 million, which equates to 69 million up front if they are to sanction the sale of their star striker. Now, I'm just a fan like you lot, but I'd like to think I'm a fairly critical thinker. What have I been saying for the last few months? It feels to me that we've allocated 70 million, give or take, for a striker, whether that was going to be Gyökeres or Eze. Sporting want to get Gyökeres gone. Gyökeres is doing all he can. His agent wants him out of there. Leipzig, the agent has spoken about, it is what it is. So let's just get it done, man. Let's get it done, man. He's currently on holiday. I mean, he's giving up 2 million. We need to bust him that 2 million. Broke up with his girl. We need to allow this guy, man. We need to allow this guy. Gyökeres is currently on holiday, but the Sweden hitman is due to report for pre-season training with Sporting on Friday. He's reportedly already agreed personal terms with Arsenal on a 5-year deal. All parties are hoping a fee can be agreed between the clubs before Friday, with Arsenal also starting their pre-season preparations this week. Mikel Arteta's squad will be holding a training camp in Spain before next week flying out to Singapore and Hong Kong on tour. Big up to you lot if you're going over there to see them. Saliba has received a substantial proposal from Arsenal to renew his contract. Berta, we trust, man. Yes, I calm down, man. The guy ain't even signed a new deal. The guy ain't signed no new deal. Calm down, brother. Shouting and shit. What you doing? What you doing? What you doing? We're gonna cover that. We're gonna cover that. But I'm just gonna get my man's. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down. I'm gonna get me. Calm down, bro. Calm down. Why are you smiling? Calm down, bro. Calm down. Calm down. Saliba, allow me. Saliba, please, bro. Saliba, please. Where's the translating? What's this? The 10 Sports. Sorry, we'll get back to wait, did we go over the Gyökeres thing? Tranquillo. Yeah, man. In fact, you lot. Yeah, bro. I don't know what to do now. But yeah, let's stick to one thing first. Let's stick to one thing first. One thing first. So as I was saying, friendlies against AC Milan, Newcastle, Spurs while we're in the Far East. When we come back to England, we got Bilbao and Villarreal. We know we've got Kepa. We know we've got Zubamendi. Norgaard's been pictured at London Coley already. Unfortunately, we're still linked with Madueke. We'd love to add a wide player. Madueke and Eze are still being linked. Trossard is linked with Saudi as well as a move to Turkey in Fenerbahce's case. Tomiyasu's contract, as you lot know, has been ripped up. Bro, where is the article? Where is the article? Don't put this behind a paywall. English, please. Please. I mean, Saliba, I'll get this done. Saliba, come on, man. Saliba, allow me, man. This is like a new signing. Word to Father Wenger. Come on. English. According to our information, William Saliba received a very big contract offer from Arsenal to be able to extend his contract. More than attractive conditions. Still on Real Madrid shelves, the Frenchman takes his time to think. I ain't gonna lie. When I take my fan cap off, there is a lot for Saliba to consider, if I'm honest. I know you lot don't want to hear it, but Real Madrid are onto me. I personally think, last summer, January, and how the season ended, I think this is the one time that Arsenal's bubbles popped. And what I mean by that is, if we go all the way back to, you remember when Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, all of those things came on, where you can see what Arsenal are doing now. Our problems are just, we're not getting over the line. Everyone can see the project as project. There's a lot to like about us. But when it wasn't cool, it's, Saliba, you're trying to assert yourself in the game. Saka, you're trying to develop. All of these guys are trying to develop. Cool. 2022, 23 comes. We kind of accelerated the thing. We didn't expect to be in a title challenge. We fell short. The year after that, 2023, 24, we're going to fall away. Everyone's going to be amazing. We gave it a good run. Ultimately, we weren't good enough last day of the season. Then you go into last summer and you're thinking, if you do X, Y, Z and we get a bit of a boost, calm. We've gone over that. We've gone over this to a degree a bit earlier as well. But then I look at it, we didn't really bring in any game changers. In January, maybe Arteta, you could throw him into it. But now if I'm Saliba, if I'm Declan Rice as well, and Saka, I'm thinking, what is the club on in January? Man are injured. People are, people are dropping like flies. My teammates are injured and they're still playing. You got the captain who's playing shit. A part of it is because he's injured. Can't pull him out. This is where the bubbles kind of popped and you're like, Arsenal it's like we're at the dual carriageway now. Which way are we going to go? Are we going to be serious or not? So I'll be a bit careful around signing a new deal. Every day that I take my time with this, my negotiating hand is strengthened and Arsenal's is obviously weakened. Obviously, you can't get away from it. I'm jumping the gun a bit. But if you bring in Rodrigo and he's our highest earner. If you look at what Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz are on, and to they left, what Tierney and Jorginho and Thomas Partey and all these guys are on. Saliba, you want to be, if you think I'm one of the best centre halves in the world, you got to pay me best centre half in the world money. If I'm Saliba, I'm trying to get a 3-year deal, maybe a 4 or an option. If I'm Arsenal, naturally I want a 5-year. And all of what I'm saying goes with Bukayo Saka as well. I don't know if this is our first offer, but this is the first time we've seen this, people. And simultaneously, everything now indicates that Konate is ready to join Madrid. To be fair with you, I don't want to laugh because I think Saliba will go there one day. But Liverpool fans, you told us Konate was better. Have fun with the anime done, Real Madrid. Anyways, according to our information, Saliba and his reps recently reviewed an offer sent by Arsenal. A very nice proposal to extend your contract. Our sources indicate that this is very offensive. Offer does not leave him indifferent. It testifies very clearly to the desire of the English club to build the future with and around it. I think that means around him. Translate's not helping us. But behind the scenes, there is always very pronounced interest of Real Madrid, who thinks of William Saliba for many months now. And this Real Madrid dream does not leave the mind of the 24-year-old Frenchman. His desire to say yes to the challenge is very present, but for now, Saliba uses time of his blood. What is that word? Listen, he's thinking carefully in it. There's no way with, what is that? Yeah. Forget that. So yeah, man. Scrolling all the way down here, Gyökeres will consider a worst case scenario loan move away from Sporting should his dream switch to Arsenal fall through. Smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't. That stinks of Osimhen. It does. It stinks of Ivan Toney to Saudi. I said I'm leaving. I told the man I'm leaving. I've done all the podcasts. I've done all the spuds. I can't look like a dickhead coming back in pre-season, so I need to cut somewhere. It is what it is. So yeah. Apparently, actually, Leipzig are keen to get back to the negotiation table for Benjamin Sesko. Now, you never know, football, stranger things have happened, but that told me safe. We're not involved. We're currently locked in talks, as we know, with Sporting. Apparently, we're 4.3 million away from the asking price of the 60.3 million upfront and the 8.6 million add-ons following face-to-face meetings in Lisbon. It's going to get done, man. Personal terms already in place over a 5-year deal. Some go as high as to say Gyökeres will be on 200 plus K a week. So yeah, man, get this done, man. I see you lot saw live out. I didn't even see the article, but Osimhen's thrown into it. Apparently, United sniffed around him. It didn't bang. United, we're the biggest club in England. No one's a fucking sign for you, much less a striker that, who scored 60 odd goals under Amarin, scammering. We'll see you in the first game of the season, you twats. I like Man United as a club, and the fans are actually based in Manchester, but you see the London-based ones, idiots. Anyways, so that was good to see live. We've been linked with Saliba signing a new contract. Again, but at this point, we're led to believe that there's a meeting going on and there's significant progress. It seems like we're not that far away from getting over the line with him. Apparently, Arsenal are open to including a player in their offer for Crystal Palace midfielder Eze. Berra has held talks with the players' reps as they look to beat Spurs to his signature. He's got 2 years left on his deal. He did turn 27 last week. He is open to the move and has been training to stay fit in anticipation. So he wants his future resolved quickly, man. Rodrigo's not on that. Palace are determined to extract the full 68 million from his release clause. Fair play. If I'm Palace, I'm saying don't come with no little boy offer. If I'm honest with you, you know what his release clause is. If you don't want to activate the release clause, cool, 3 installments, that's great. But the money needs to, don't tell us you're gonna pay 20 this week, then you're gonna run us the next 20 in 2030, then in the year 3000, you're gonna run some more. I'm not sure. Now, I think every Arsenal fan knows. Like, I'm not an accountant. I don't know if Arsenal do or don't have the facilities to do it. We are not going to run the release clause in full in it. We didn't even want to do that when we signed Thomas Partey. We had to save face. The Gunners already agreed on personal terms with the player and are ironing out the final details with his club. What I will say is clubs agree personal terms with players all the time, and they get moves, but they also don't get moves. So that does fill me with joy, but also not. We've gone over Norgaard, Kepa, and Martin Zubamendi. Burr is determined to get the Eze deal over the line and will try to convince Palace, who might consider accepting a promising defender as part of the deal. While the player being considered as a makeweight in the deal is not known, Sunsport understands he's an emerging star who's played a handful of games for the first team. The Eagles are likely to lose Gurhi to Liverpool, and Newcastle have been linked. Obviously, with what some of you lot are saying with Konate, that probably adds fuel to the fire. Gabriel Heinze, welcome. He's been confirmed as Arsenal's new assistant coach. Fair play. Big up him, man. Big up him. We'll go over that as well. Palace want Chalobah. That could help Chelsea if Chelsea ever want to go for him, people. So yeah, he's got 2 years left on his deal. He's apparently got interest from Chelsea and Bayern Munich for what it's worth. Bro, does this look like someone joking about? Still ain't giving an interview. Eddie was doing hella chatting. Still ain't giving an interview. I bet you do an interview when we go to Hong Kong, but I bet you don't even know where we're going on pre-season. You're just getting players. In Berta we trust, man. In Berta we trust. Don't let me down, geezer. Please don't let me down. Apparently, it's been revealed as Josh Nichols today. Run that today. Palace don't even know they're bumping themselves. Do that today. And apparently Bayern Munich also have Eze on their shortlist after missing out on Nico Williams and Wirtz. As we know, Eze is wanted by apparently Bayern Munich as well as Tottenham Hotspur and also Arsenal Football Club. I'm tired of hearing about Anthony Gordon, but his name is always name dropped. Anthony Gordon's camp has revealed that his agent was at Arsenal's training ground last week. While he shares an agent with Nwaneri, it's a player Arsenal love, and it would be strange for the wingers camp to be aware. It's got to be aware. And I don't think we're going for my man, but naturally, it wouldn't surprise me if we're trying to get Nwaneri, who's got the same agent, to sign a new deal, and there was a latest round of talks there. If once we're kind of done speaking about Nwaneri, if we just float the idea, yo, what's going on for Gordon? I don't think we're getting Rodrigo. I think you've got more chance of getting Rodrigo than Anthony Gordon from Newcastle at this moment in time, personally. As I said, apparently Andrea Berta has been seen greeting Norgaard at the training ground, and you can see the camera thing. Big up yourself, Norgaard. Arsenal are violating, though. They should announce your thing. Gyökeres apparently has personally sent private messages to Sporting's president Varandas asking him to let him move to Arsenal. The important members of the Viktor Gyökeres deal are still in Portugal after the situation got tense and Arsenal could not complete a deal with Sporting on Sunday. The Gunners will continue negotiations today and remain optimistic, people. That was tweeted today by Mr. Fabrizio Romano. So excited. I got it twice there. Arsenal and Brentford exchanged all details last week for Norgaard. Second part of the medical also complete. Contract signed. Official statement to follow next. 10 million addition completed after Kepa and Zubamendi. Waiting on Gyökeres. Glock 9. Yeah, so yeah. Andrea Berta is keen to get the Eze thing done, people. We remain in contact over Gyökeres. We're in advanced talks, as you saw the Athletic say. Well-placed sources have indicated Berta flew to Lisbon towards the end of last week for face-to-face discussions with the Sporting counterparts over a deal worth around 70 million, people. That was me and Igal going over, and he was kind of debunking the myth about Darwin Núñez and Gyökeres. Even though haters will hate, smash the like button, people, if you want Gyökeres to get over the line. So there's that. As I said, these tabs are all over the place at this moment in time, man. Run the jewels, I hear it. But man said, Bun Gordon, we'll take Rodrigo. What type of news is that? Let it run. Yeah, you man go for Gordon instead. You man are on it. Give him Nelson. I hear it. Give him Nelson. Don't sign Fabio Vieira, please. I think Arteta should be sacked for not using Lokonga, Fabio Vieira. I actually think Zinchenko is better than Martin Odegaard, better than Declan Rice, and better than Miles Lewis-Skelly in their positions. Please don't buy these guys off us. Please. Anyways, so we have to see. The situation between Gyökeres and Sporting is getting tense. In the last hours, the striker has reiterated he only wants to go to Arsenal and will refuse to turn up to training or play for the Portuguese side. Now, they'll demonize players and say they're bad guys, but why has it got to this? You told man about gentleman's agreement. I'm not saying clubs are wrong, but Sesko had a release clause of 60 million last year. He signed a new deal and they said gentleman's agreement, you could leave this summer. Gyökeres has a release clause of 100 million. We're led to believe there was a gentleman's agreement. It's not really gentlemanly, is it really and truly, if I'm completely honest? So yeah, apparently we advanced on Gyökeres because of the frustrations with Leipzig over Sesko. There's a feeling that they played an unnecessarily hard line. Sesko at that point decided to stay for another year last year, as we know. It was felt this year that Leipzig would be willing to let Sesko go this year for the right package of at least 10 million more in price, but they held firm on a total package. It says 80 million here. Some reports go as high as 90, which is mad. Speaking of wanting mad fees, Chelsea, they're not wrong. When you look at some of the fees that's going on and what football's become now, Chelsea, we want in excess of 50 million for Arsenal to sign Madueke. The Blues believe the current market justifies the figure, given West Ham's valuation of Kudus and Alanga's 52 million move to Newcastle. I'd rather Kudus go Chelsea than Spurs. You lot can't do no little swap deal for Kudus and Madueke over them sides and leave us out. And clearly, Madueke has been told how he's managers lie all the time, but clearly he's been told how he features in these plans if he's agreed personal terms and we're 10 million around the part. Arsenal view Madueke as a versatile player who can support Bukayo Saka on the right flank and provide an option on the left. We don't want options. We want level raises. It's assumed Elanga's 55 million move to Newcastle will be very relevant to Chelsea for the evaluation of Madueke, who scored more league goals at the same age last season. Damn, I can't lie. If somebody told me you had more goals than Elanga, did you? Currently, Ornstein has said there's no talks between Arsenal and Chelsea for Madueke. This situation can develop. We've therefore gone over Norgaard plenty of times. While Crystal Palace aim for the full 68 million release clause for Eze, Arsenal and Andrea Berta will convince the club of a swap deal, including a promising defender that has played a handful of games for the first team. I wonder if you're Kivi, or do you think, yo, can go over there and play, there's game time over there. So we'll have to see. Arsenal are aiming on a structure for Eze that will amount to 3 installments of 20 million, and there's hope that a suitable deal can be worked out, people. His preference is understood to be Arsenal should he leave Palace, although sources close to the situation believe Liverpool may yet activate long-standing interest. No club has yet made a concrete approach for Palace. Yeah, because if you're Liverpool, Eze could bang, Rodrigo could bang. Hand of Arsenal, big him up. Says Rodrigo's priority is Arsenal. I don't know if that's the case. If I'm Eze, I'm sure he wants to go to Arsenal, but you'd be a fool to not want to play for Liverpool. It's a massive club, historical big club, doing their things. If I'm looking at it, Eze can be part of their present and their future, quote unquote, because Salah's here for another year or two. Time's catching up with him. You might become the main man or a main man in that. So yeah, man, we've made no concrete approach for him, according to Miguel Delaney. So depending on what article you want to believe, there's an issue. Arsenal are working on a payment structure for a bid that could allow them to sign Eze without a substantial sale this summer. Apparently, the Athletic. Big up to you lot who saw my video in the morning. If you've got your notification bells on, hope you win the lottery. Arsenal have undertaken significant background work on Rodrigo and have held preliminary talks about a possible move. PSG have made contact with his camp should he choose to leave Real Madrid. Liverpool are one of the clubs that have contacted Rodrigo's camp. Arsenal are not the only one keeping an eye on Rodrigo's situation. Other clubs, including some from the Premier League, are also keeping an eye. Oh, what's going on there? I think I skipped ahead. Real Madrid are not even planning on replacing Rodrigo. So that tells you between Diaz, the Mustantado guy, Arda Güler, Endrick, and all the others, you're not really certain like that. Come to Arsenal and prove them wrong. You could go to Liverpool and win a Premier League or a Champions. You could go to PSG. You could go to City. But that don't mean you're a mess. Can you do it with Zinchenko? Yeah? Can you do it with Marino up front? That's legacy, my friend. All the Brazilian dons, please. I don't even know if you pick up the phone to Martinelli. Magalhaes, please. Ronaldinho, please. I don't know what relevance Ronaldinho has to this, but please, man, just tell him to join us. Much may depend on what Arsenal have left in the budget after the deal for Gyökeres is struck. It remains to be seen if signings such as Rodrigo or Eze may be dependent on potential outgoings. I hear that, and I only think you get one if you're lucky, but you can't have assumed you're going to sell Martinelli, for example. It makes sense. Yeah, he could be a make weight. He's on 190 grand. Yeah, you might know Barcelona and Bayern Munich have been sniffing around, but the deal don't make sense. It's all fun and games saying, oh, sell him Saudi. The man has to want to go there, If he says he don't want to go there, it's a myth. So how much can that factor in? Like, how much? We've also heard Rodrigo featured in our planning. Did we go into the summer say we're genuinely trying to get a Sesko or a Gyökeres? We're going to bring Eze because we've been linked with him in the last few years. Last summer, it was said that we think he could do with another year in the Premier League at Palace. So there's that. Going in with Madueke, or is this reactive? I don't know, people. So we'll have to see. But for what it's worth, Ornstein has said, if you're going to bring in someone like Rodrigo, Anthony, or any of the other names that have been linked, then there's probably isn't space for two such players, Martinelli and Trossard. That's why there's a possibility of Martinelli's departure. I have to make clear, I don't know of any movements or talk or developing situations. You hear about Saudi, about Bayern Munich. I'm sure he's liked and admired everywhere, but that doesn't mean a move is materializing. Exactly. And Romano's poured cold water on any imminent links with Martinelli to Saudi. Apparently, Trossard could leave. Apparently, Berta is coming with new ideas which could change his future. He has changed agents, but you have heard his old agent's got some health issues, so they're stepping away. Maybe that adds fuel to the fire. We did hear Trossard was going to get a new deal, which was a bit of a weird one because he was going to get more money, but there weren't going to be an extra option to extend his deal or increase the length of his deal. So what sense does that make? Maybe Bert is changing things. Obviously, if you bring in Madueke and we hope Eze and even hope even more of Rodrigo, in an ideal world, I wouldn't mind Trossard being part of the squad, but it's easier, isn't it? He's on less wages than Martinelli. He's got a year left. He's probably thinking about his future as well. He probably knows I'm not going to start 20 million euros, keep it moving. Waneri's contract talks are heading in the right direction, and the hold-up was due to the players' camp requesting further things, but also not wanting to discuss the deal during the Under-21s Championship. So, yeah, Arsenal are optimistic he signs a new deal. Another one, I want to know how I'm going to feature into the plans. Lookman has been discussed as a potential option on the left wing, but Arsenal are so far unwilling to match Atalanta's valuation. I'd rather him over Madueke, but what are they asking for with him? Milan apparently waiting on Bayern Munich. They think Bayern will come in for Leao. Milan are unwilling to sell, but they believe that Bayern or Barcelona will come for him if they can come with 85 million euros. Anything is possible. I only mentioned that to say, anyone having that? Varandas refuses to lower the bar to accept Gyökeres transfer. Arsenal will only go ahead for 70 million euros plus 10 million for goals. Ain't that what we initially heard with Gyökeres that they want? So we have to see, right? I'm proper on the Gyökeres stuff, innit? For you, I'll read this, but Ornstein apparently said on Madueke, Arsenal have long been looking for some backup to Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side, and how they could have done with it in his time out last season injured. Of course, they have Waneri, who did very well initially, but didn't play much towards the end of the season. He's young, just 18 years old, and I think they see him more as a sort of 8-10 in the future. So who can deputise in that position? They looked into Mbeumo initially. He's on course to join Man United. They looked into Madueke as an option. I'm sure they have some other options. The advantage of Madueke is he has capabilities of playing on the right, on the other side as well, as if needed. Whereas Mbeumo very much has been in the right channel. But Mbeumo would have been better. And I think some positive conversations have been held, but more on the player side, not club to club, between Arsenal and Chelsea at the time of recording. Things can obviously change. There's something there. It's not to say it's going to happen, but there's a possible departure from Chelsea, and it's why they've been looking at these wide attacking positions in the market. So watch this space. I wish I didn't have to. So yeah, Berta's having face-to-face talks over Gyökeres. We've gone over the Eze thing. As I said, these are all a mess, people. David Ornstein will have to see if clubs can find a common ground on the transfer fee. Right now, I don't know of that to have happened. There's some suggestions on social media it has, but that's not my information. That's not to say it won't change in the next minutes, hours, days, because it's a situation that is being worked upon. So yeah, we'll have to see. At this point, I don't want to keep reading the same things, people, but we know 70 million is apparently the asking price. He wants to fulfill his dream of playing for Arsenal. He's giving up 2 million of his salary package to facilitate negotiations. He's putting that money from his own pocket to Arsenal's bid for Sporting. Gyökeres is pushing. He's doing all he can. Inside Arsenal, there's massive admiration for Rodrigo in certain quarters. I don't know if that's universal. I don't know if that developing. There have been suggestions that he's prioritizing Arsenal. I'm sure they'll be delighted. It's not like the clubs are talking. To our knowledge, maybe there's been some interaction with his camp, which is normal, similar to Anthony Gordon. He's just a player Arsenal like. Once again, City, PSG, Arsenal, and you've seen a tab with Liverpool, so we'll have to see. Martinelli, forget that. We've gone over Waneri. Gunner Blogger said, I've seen people saying that this is just agent spin and everything's fine. I'm not sure about that. There's definitely an issue there. I'm worried about it a little, given the complexion of the rest of the transfer picture. There's a lot of moving parts. Again, hand of Arsenal. I don't doubt him, giving me no reason to doubt him. Intermediaries with direct mandate from Saudi clubs have been told in no uncertain terms that Rodrigo's preference is to move to the Premier League, with Arsenal his absolute priority in case a deal can be struck with Real Madrid. Definitely gone over Trossard. We're getting to the end. Those within the club are very happy with Mikel Arteta's progress at Arsenal. It's not thought that the external pressure to deliver is replicated internally. That's by David Ornstein. Do you not believe that should be a thing or not? Got a blog, and The Athletic also said, beyond Viktor Gyökeres, Arsenal exploring other ways to improve their attack. Arsenal see Madueke as a versatile player who can support Saka on the right flank, as well as providing an option on the left. Other players for the left wing spot remain under consideration and discussion. Arsenal have undertaken significant background work on Rodrigo and have held preliminary talks about a possible move. I mean, the good thing is we ain't seen others having initial talks. Things can change. Gordon is admired. Lookman has been discussed, but thus far, Arsenal have been unwilling to match Atalanta's valuation. Arsenal have also looked at creative midfield players like Eze. Much may depend on what Arsenal have left in the budget after any deal for Gyökeres is struck. It remains to be seen if potential signings such as Rodrigo or Eze may be dependent on outgoings. I mean, if you've got 40, 50, however much million for Madueke, then it's irrelevant. Arsenal began conversations with Tomiyasu over a potential termination earlier this summer. Eventually, both parties found an agreement. Tomiyasu is currently rehabbing in Tokyo with the Japanese FA and hopes to be fit by October. And we hope we find a club. think you'll find a club, man. You could go back to Italy. Arsenal saw a termination as mutually beneficial arrangement, one that would grant Tomiyasu the liberty to pursue his rehab as he saw fit, while freeing up a space in the squad for a new signing who would be ready to contribute on the field. He's still potentially out for 4 months. We might have not seen the end to Sesko. Sources on the German side of the mooted deal for Benjamin Sesko indicate there was still room for further negotiations over both the fee and Sesko's salary, but clearly not enough to convince Arsenal, who seem to have decided to advance with Viktor Gyökeres. Viktor Gyökeres spoke about Ruben Amorim and gave him, his flowers for his time there. Fabio Vieira is likely to report to Arsenal for pre-season, but the Gunners would be willing to listen to offers for the midfielder. Not exactly news, but you see it there, people. So, yeah, what have we made of that? We got 162 likes. Can we get to 200? Let's get back to the comments. What about Elise instead of Noni? He's not leaving Bayern. If they get 4 players there linked with Gyökeres, Rodrigo, and Eze being must and keep Ranieri, big things are going on this season. No problem, my G. Hope we get Gyökeres here. Hope we get here we go soon. Oh, you told to call me. Chelsea and Liverpool can steal Gyökeres from us. Let's just not negotiate 5 mil. If he's giving us his word, it don't go anywhere, but it shouldn't really matter. Rodrigo saw that 5-1 and said, yeah, I need some of that. You won't have to play against Lewis Kelly unless it's in training, man. Arsenal, please don't be silly. Just pay the 70 million. We spent 65 M's on that giraffe up front. We are more than capable. I think we will. But negotiate. Big up Hassan. Hit the like button, man. Hassan Kaya. Are you Turkish or Cypriot? Big up you if you are. And if you're not. For 30 to 40, I'm having Madueke as a backup alongside Eze and Rodrigo, though. Have we got the facilities for that? Or are we going to have to do overdraft? I'm not sure. It'd be nice. I don't believe we're getting Rodrigo. For me, I need to see Gyökeres and I need to see Eze. If you knew you couldn't get Eze done, you should have never, ever aroused my imagination. Then I can accept. I can accept not getting Rodrigo as much as I want him. I can't accept my man by himself. I can't accept Madueke. And I'm not even going to get at Madueke because you didn't buy yourself. Gyökeres is an Arsenal striker. By God's grace. Big up yourself, George. Arsenal and Gyökeres want to get the deal done before Friday. I hope so. Hit the sub button if you haven't, man. Burra's done well. Kepa, Zubimendi, Norgaard, Gyökeres, and Eze. I mean, of the 5 names you said there, at this moment in time, only 3 are through the door. And 1's advancing. We ain't seen nothing with Eze, really, when you break it down, really. Gabriel Magalhaes already done this job. Listen, Arsenal's announcement video for Gyökeres has been done so poorly. If Freddie Lomberg's not there, if Gabriel Magalhaes isn't there doing this, and maybe just a bit of fun, maybe Gyökeres, if you want to dye your hair red, pay homage to, my favorite Swedish player that played for this football club. Hope you can be in the same realm. You know what to do. Liverpool will sign Sesko or Ekitike, then probably. I know you was one of them. I wasn't thinking that. I want Zubimendi though. I'm bullish about Zubimendi. I'll be real, man. You thought you was getting him. Mikel made the call. That was it. You're buying the Liverpool fans in the chat. Got that clout, man. That Alanga deal helps us. How though? Because I would have rather Newcastle say forget Alanga. I'd rather Alanga over Madueke for what it's worth. I would have rather Newcastle say forget Alanga. Let's go and get Madueke. I had a gentleman's agreement with DJ about my girl. He still stole her from me. You're a fool. This guy's always out. Out of all the people I could have picked to be mods, I picked a damn idiot. But big up you, man. You're an idiot. He don't even want to be runner-up at Madrid, so why would he want to play for runner-up club when he can win? If we sign him, I'm comfortable. Nuno Tavares better than Timber as well. Trust me, buy him. In fact, we don't need to cap on Nuno Tavares. He's shit. He's gone. Another one who went to Italy and done well. Give him Reece Nelson. I hear that. And somebody mentioned Gabriel Heinze becoming Arsenal manager for what it's worth. Arsenal assistant. Let's see if that's confirmed. We know what Zubimendi's gonna bring. Another one rejected Liverpool. Get me forward pass. I promise you, I'm taking very long. It's only because I'm trying to work on an edited piece with Gyökeres and Zubimendi, but I promise you it'll be out, man. So make sure your notification bells are on. But Zubimendi, it's not your day today. It's not your day. Okay, who's this? Hey, Tyler Hens. I keep forgetting. Hey, Berta. Great sign. Fullback as well. I beg you, lot that chat shit about fullbacks. Say she's dead. Say fullbacks are dead and she's playing in a dead position and she's dead. Go on. I like our fullback, man. I think she's best in the world, to be fair, personally. But staying on task. Welcome to the carpet. Even forgot that frazzling. I don't even know what I'm doing. But yeah, this is what we're doing. Gabriel Heinze has been officially announced. welcome to the family, my brother. Hey, him celebrating at Old Trafford on the touchline with Gyökeres doing this on the first day of the season. Certain teams pulled out the Amazon documentary. Cowards. United. We're gonna sign everyone. We're gonna do everything with Man United. Oh my God, Gyökeres in Buemo. Oh my days. And they're shameless. When it looked like it was Sesko, oh my God, how can Arsenal not go and sign Gyökeres? He's got all the goals. They're betting on potential. The whole thing flips, and it looks like we're getting Gyökeres. Oh, he's done it in the Portuguese league. Like you lot weren't twerking for Amorim and Gyökeres when they beat City. Shameless. DJ, as long as they put in £1 billion release clause in Saliba's contract like your Miles, it's all good. I would have bet on it, but yeah. This news about Konate has me smiling more. Confident Saliba stays. Realistically, they're all going to end up over there, bro. One way or another. And I've made peace with that, and it's cool. Because I've seen players win like Ronaldo won everything at Man United. Trent achieved everything at Real Madrid, different at Real Madrid, at Liverpool. It's Real Madrid. They're going to go do that. So for me, just put your best foot forward, put Saliba under contract, make sure we get our money. By God's grace, we actually achieve something, because it'd be very different. Like I mentioned Ronaldo and Trent, if Saliba was to leave this year or next year, provided we don't win silverware, it'd be very different. It's going to happen. It's not the same. But it's almost like says Fabregas. It's like you knew my man was going back to Barcelona one day. You knew it was going to happen. When do you guys think Gyökeres here we go happen? Hopefully, today. Whoop, whoop. That's the sound of the tab police. This guy's an idiot, man. I had to stay on track. Sorry, man. You can see what I mean with Saliba. Man emptied his Glock a while ago. Appreciate you, Kizzy. What do you mean by that? Did you see the video of Norgaard being in the training ground and the video with Ethan being asked about Eze? I did see them little kids asking Ethan about Eze. Even if 1 year he knows something, he'd be an idiot to say something in it. Chelsea give us the best payment terms. They don't need much money up front. For other teams, they need the money to replace players for those asking. It's coming like Chelsea's like William Hill or the bookies, man. It's like we just like buying players and randomly seeing how they're gonna work. Like who's actually when we take Chelsea's academy prospects that ain't made it great, like, but who's really banged that we bought from Chelsea? Like for the very fact that they got Ashley Cole, I'm on them for life. But Jorginho is probably one of the better players. We didn't get Willian, but Willian stunk of that Chelsea stench. He stunk up the place. Lassana Diarra was only here for 6 months. One thing I'll say with Raheem Sterling and Madueke, I believe William Gallas is the worst player that's ever played for this football club and will be the worst player we bought from Chelsea. Kepa, please, innit? That's all I'll say. Just allow me. Just do all right if and when you're called upon. Kai Havertz, you done a little thing for yourself, but we shouldn't have bought you. Once you got a man through the middle that can take the doubles and triple ups on Saka's peak. And that's that. If this club is stupid enough, if rivals are stupid enough to, you got your 3 men marking Saka, and then you're trying to occupy whoever's on the left, but hey, we're going to hit you up. And again, don't get twisted, Gyökeres is going to bag, but there's going to be games he's going to have to be a sacrificial lamb. A bit like, you see how Saliba and Gabriel Magalhaes basically kept him quiet when we played them, and other players got to benefit. He might get a one chance where he hits the post, but that's where you need the other players to benefit. And for Arteta, regardless of who rocks up here, you got to find a way for low blocks, man. Got to find a way for low blocks. Big up the mods, man. Appreciate you lot banging on about hitting the like button. That's why I want Gyökeres and Rodrigo. What's Norgaard going to do for Arsenal? I don't know anything about him. I'm keen to see what Norgaard offers on the ball, purely because at Arsenal, 9 times out of 10, it's low blocks, it's deep blocks, or any like Arsenal, but not United or Spurs, because you look where you lot were in the fucking table, mate. But to a degree, Chelsea, Arsenal, definitely Liverpool, definitely City. Teams sit back. So I need to see what you've got on the ball. I'm not expecting you to be Santi Cazorla, but I want to kind of see that now from what I know of Norgaard. Box to box, you've got that ball winner, very intelligent, probably a threat from set pieces, experience, 6s and 5s and 6s across the board. I'm cool with that in the squad. The one benefit I would say is it raises scope to, because it's ironically, would it be fair to say the best pivot we've seen since Declan Rice has been here is probably Jorginho and Rice, even though Partey and Rice did all right last year. It gives me confidence that you might be able to pull a Zubamendi out. You might be able to take Rice out here and there, or maybe rest him and whatnot, and just ease the burden on him. That's why I think he's going to play a lot more than Jorginho, because unfortunately, Jorginho never had the legs. I see people on Twitter saying Norgaard doesn't have the legs. He's ran a lot. statistically. To be fair, Telemann's up there. So it does raise in question what our eyes tell us and what the data tells us, which is quite interesting, which is why we love football. And the only thing better than football is to talk about football with you lot, man. So big up you lot, because some of you are here on a consistent basis. One way or the highway, by hook or by crook, we are getting to 70K, man. This is our platform, our family, man. So yeah, smash the likes. I don't know. Just think Rodrigo comes in as a starter. Eze can be a starter, but he doesn't come in as a starter. I hear you, yeah. But let's say this. Let's forget Rodrigo for a sec, right? You can include Madueke if you want, but I really just want to focus on what's there at the moment. Martinelli, Trossard, right? Let's say Eze comes in. I think you're right. In a sense, Martinelli or Trossard could, provided they're still here, could be that. But if we never sign no one else beyond that, so you got your Gyökeres, you got your Sesko, for some reason or another, Madueke, let's say, you know what? Madueke's flopped. Rodrigo's flopped. It's not happening for us. Eze ain't starting off. Eze ain't a starter off the left. I'm not saying it'll be long term, but really? Really? And if we get into a bidding, we'll buckle. Hopefully not, man. Big up Jay Collins, another one that's here. Oh, he's comment again. I need to make you a mod. You're always here. You look. I can't lie. You look like you're on your Berta thing yourself, man. Suave in that shirt, innit? Come on, DJ. You going to watch or stream the Club World Cup semis or finals? Final, probably not. I'm out on Sunday. Tomorrow, depending on. I'm still waiting to hear back to get some collabs done. So depending on how it all falls, probably tomorrow. But don't quote me. Thoughts on Josh Nichols having to make way for their deal? Brother, do that today. There's no thoughts. Big up Josh. Get me, IC3, living a dream, played for Arsenal, heartwarming moment with what you did with what you saw, you saw his mum in the stands and whatnot. Tomorrow, bro. Tomorrow. I don't know why they want him. I don't know. I hope he goes there and he plays first team football. I think he needs a loan or two. You'd probably be closer to their first team than ours. Go do that tomorrow. Do that now. Forget tomorrow. Do that now. Now. Right now. Right now. Right now. And I wish him all the best. Do that right now. You're not going to, unfortunately, Josh isn't going to make, Josh strikes me in many ways. I mean, I didn't play for Arsenal. I like Josh Nichols because he reminds me of myself. Like, Kane Rose, fullback, probably a bit smaller than the others. Need a bit. He screams late developer. I'm not saying he's going to play. I hope so. I hope he plays Premier League football and accomplishes all his dreams. But he seems like a late bloomer per se. Like, he's not going to get to where he needs to get to right now. Probably need to wait on him a bit. So go do that. Go do that right now. What happened to Eze reducing his salary and everything? Do Sporting still want more money? I think, to be honest, sorry, Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres has done his part, bro. I think Gyökeres has done his part. It's down to the clubs. Have we extended Rosiak? No, apparently he's leaving or has left. Which, to be fair, probably one of the best free kick takers at the club. You're not going to get a look in the first team. That's the reality. You never know. You could, sometimes life is like that. God forbid there could be injuries. You could happen to have a banging training session. Arteta plays you. You're gone. You're lit. You're not going to play. A lot of these under 21s, you need to start being a bit realistic. And Arteta, you might get your debuts. Arteta's not on the Wenger thing. Unless you're, and again, there's a lot to say with Nwaneri, but unless you're kind of on the Nwaneri, Miles Lewis, Skelly, you could even say at a point Smith Rowe, definitely Bukayo Saka, like them kind of young players, you're not going to get your chance. And you need to think about yourself. Like, you need to. The club are going to keep a couple of these players around because you want a competitive side for the under 21s. But you're at that point, you need to go and play men's football because unfortunately, the other side of academy football, it's all great playing for Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool from 8 years of age to, being part of the first team. You're about 18, 19, 20. You got no real chance of playing in the first team, but you're at Arsenal. I mean, at these clubs, you're training. You might play in the cup and that is great. But you see, when it doesn't work and the one time your contract doesn't get renewed, now you're out. Because remember, football's a job, you're now into the real world. Hopefully your agent can make something happen to you. This is now where life gets real. Because think about it logically. If you're a championship team, League One, League Two, or whatever have you, yeah, and bearing in mind, you're trying to either avoid relegation, get promoted, people are losing jobs. For these young players that I'm talking about, bear in mind, they would have to step into an environment where it's not pally-pally young players. Everybody's fighting for a contract. People are really fighting for places. You're not exposed to that. You ain't got first team football. If you make a mistake in under 21s football, it's not really that deep. If you make your debut for the clubs I mentioned or a professional team, you might not be in the team anymore. Fans are impatient. So this is why I think you need to go and get game time. Because think about it. If I'm a championship manager, League One, League Two, or whatever, somebody suggests, I don't know, Joe Bloggs who plays for Liverpool. Let's just say he's a right back. We need a right back. His name gets floated on my desk. Okay, he was at Liverpool. I'm going to listen. He was at Liverpool. He might have made his debut or whatever. They're telling me about his first team, like how he was in the first team. How many senior appearances has the lad got? If you're telling me, you're not even telling me 5, you might, let alone 10, 20 in the senior game. I might say no. I might get him in trouble. I might say no. Because again, unfortunately, in this life, it's a bit, life mirrors football, and it's a bit of a twang in that you can't get experience without being given an opportunity to get experience. But unfortunately, this young player might be the bee's knees. Over a 10-game period, he might have first 2 weeks, he's 20 million out of 10. The other 8 is shaky. Where you might have someone that plays in the same position, a lot more experience. That same 10-game period, he might be only 5 or 6 out of 10. But all of those 10 games is what he's doing. The manager's obviously going to bet on that. As humans, we're creatures of comfort. You're going to go for that. And this is the twang that goes against all young players at all teams. The only saving grace I could say in the dynamics of and that's why I think even making your debut and all of these things is good. But one thing that goes against these players is obviously there's pressure. If Onslaught is losing 10 games in a row, no one don't care for no young players. There's bare pressure on Arteta to get over the line. No one don't care for young players. It's going against them. The only thing I think that might bust young players generally is you're seeing the Club World Cup. You're seeing Nations League. You're seeing for club and country more games getting expanded, and all these, the figureheads. What is their solution? They keep saying clubs need bigger squads. That might bust some young players, or you might get in situations. I'm not criticizing Arteta. You remember when we had like Amari Hutchinson, Mika Bereth, Marcelo Flores, Charlie Patino made his debut. There was a lot of these young players on the bench, and even against Real Madrid, someone got released now, and that's got to be a kick in the teeth. He's on the bench against Real Madrid. Now you're released. Now you're in the real world. Unfortunately, a lot of these guys will stop playing football very soon, and I hope that's not the case. But football is a very tough game. It's very tough from 6 to 7, let alone under 16s when you get the scholar. And then when you get your first pro, even that, when you turn 17, you get your pro deal. I know a lot of players that used to play for the Arsenal, Spurs, the whatevers. They're personal trainers. They're regular guys now. And that's not a criticism or me mocking them. I would love to be in their situations in that. But this is the reality of being a footballer. And then you start bringing in, it's not always talent. Sometimes it's timing. There's an element of politics. Sometimes there's a stroke of luck. Sometimes it's down to your agent. Sometimes it's down to you and your family being proactive about your future. It's a dark game, man. It's a dark game. DG in North London, you should buy homes in Hampstead. Oh, Hampstead. Get me 1 million subs then, bro. Sorry, I'm just looking for the P's to be able to buy that yard and to stop renting. I'm looking. Because if I had that, I might give Gyökeres his 2 million back. Looking for it. Man said Hampstead, Kilburn. Oh no. Caledonia Road. Oh no. Oh no. Kilburn. That's northwest technically, but Caledonia Road. No. Regent's Park's quite nice, to be fair, as in the actual park. Let's move DG to other parts of North London. But I'm happy in Edmonton. What's going on there? 12 away from 200 likes, like the thing, people. DG definitely buying a house in Ibiza. No. That's not my kind of football philosophy still. Maybe Atlanta or something. Do you think we'll be the best London club in the Champions League this season? I think we will be. Well, we was last year, but I'm only interested if we win the thing. Plus in North London, Hendon, Finchley and Colindale. Kwame, you might be under surveillance. Since when was Hendon North London? Since when was Colindale North London? That's all Northwest. And Northwest is more west, if anything, more times. Barnet, bit north. Finchley, Finchley gets a bit northwesty, but I'd say that's north. Aubameyang and Dominic Calvert-Lewin both are free agents now. Which club do you think both will end up at? Do you know what? Aubameyang's linked with Premier League clubs. I'd bring him back to Arsenal for the culture, but there's no common logic to that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I hope Man United. To be fair though, if I'm a couple of the promoted clubs, depending on the finances and the length of the contract, could do with grabbing one of them. Big up Marcel, I see him in the chat somewhere as well, man. The comments are gone. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is such a FIFA 19, FIFA 20 career mode signing. We need to start securing the fees that City are getting for their youngsters. I remember making fun of 40 million deal for Palmer due to lack of senior games. Yeah, you're right. And even Chelsea do it as well, because everyone talks about Chelsea charges and that. They actually make a lot of money. We should be doing that because we're not going to buy 1 million players like Chelsea, nor are we going to be so lackadaisical about 100 million flopping Jack Grealish. I don't necessarily think he's a flop, but agendas have to run. So yeah, he should have gone League One / Championship. It wouldn't surprise. I hope if Josh Nichols was to end up at Palace, I hope you get all the game time in the world. But If you're Palace, you need to go and play out on loan. You need to go and be exposed. Think about it. If you're a manager in League One Championship, especially for defenders, you're not really going to find too many managers that are going to bet on a 17, 18, 19-year-old young right back who you're trying to stay in the division. There's pressure on your job and you ain't really seen him play senior football. Attackers is a bit different. Obviously, it's not. You still got to score, but attackers is a bit different. You got to go out there and get that experience and get that competency. All of these clubs will tell you everything under the sun. Do you know how many young players I see? Clubs are dying for them to sign a new deal. Then the next this, that, the other. They sign a new deal 3-4 years ago. No one don't hear about them. Respectfully, I don't want to give him a stray, but Chelsea's Kyle Scott years ago. In fact, and he was a baller for his worth. George McCracken as well, not his older brother. Kyle Scott, Chelsea. I hope he's still kicking ball. He's a very techie player. Very 27. Blood, where has the time gone? See how quick time moves. It really is true, you know. The days are long, but the years are quick, man. But yeah, this is the year I was talking about. He's eligible to play for a couple countries. He played for England, Republic of Ireland, and America, right? He was at Chelsea. I remember them begging him to sign a new deal and all of that. He then went to Telstar. He then rocked up at Newcastle. Now he's at FC Cincinnati and Orange County. Now, the very fact he's still a footballer is it. But that's the point. If he did leave or go to something, this is why I'd say footballers got to be selfish, bro. Yeah, you might be familiar. They might like you, but they don't like you that much. Your mum likes you, your dad likes you, your family like you, your friends like you. You're a commodity. Unfortunately, this is it. Everybody loves their player until they're in a bit of bad form. I'm not talking about positive praise or criticism. Everybody hated Havertz. You start scoring 60 million down the drain. Everyone loved Martinelli. Now he's shit now. You get where I'm going with it. Everyone thinks Gyökeres is the one. Gyökeres doesn't bang here. There's issues. They don't love you. They love what they can do for you. And I know football's tribal and romantic and they do all of that with it. But unfortunately, this is it. Roziak reminds me of Trent. Bad loss for Arsenal. Could have renewed and loaned. He can be Ben White understudy. Nah. I think we're cool. I think you're overselling it a bit, but fair play. Love for the super chat. DG Dominic Cavalier going to the United. We must sign your top target, DG, at all costs. Right, you'll be mad. But yeah, have him. Roziak's our baller though, man. Do you think we are getting 4 attackers? I don't think so, which makes me think Noni stuff isn't going to happen. I think 2. We've heard rumors of 3. I would be amazed if I see anything more than Gyökeres. And I'm going to say Eze, but let's put Eze/Madueke. I hope I'm wrong. But yeah, big up Marcel. RIP Jota once again, man. Come on, my dude. Hope you're blessed, my dude. Where you been, mate? Where you been? David Luiz was probably one of the better ones. But with David Luiz, I accept man for what he is. Czech, pure gentleman. I don't think Czech was as bad as people made out for Arsenal. He definitely wasn't as good as we thought. He definitely did some crazy things. But I like the way he carried himself. Sterling weren't trash on a shameless one. A striker ain't going to free up Saka. Odegaard needs to make runs past to free up Saka. Instead, he's with Saliba catching up with play. I hear you, but is that on Odegaard or the gaffer? Eze as a left wing, Gyökeres as a striker. DG move out of Edmonton and move into Finsbury Park. Finsbury Park's even expensive, man. You know, I can't lie, man. The housing crisis all over the world is shit. You know that celebration gonna hit you just like the belly with the man. You hit the belly with the man, and you're a madman. He hasn't recovered, but I would be the replacement of selling him in Jan. I would have given Tomiyasu 1 more year. I'm a bit pissed off we're not gonna get no bread, but I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. DG, do you think we need an overlapping left back with so many inside forwards? We need the ability to have that. Like, we knew he wasn't going to keep Tierney, but we need that. When you said that, I thought of Calafiori. He needs to stay fit. Let's get Eze, man. Trust me. Just bring Eze. Emre should sign Aubameyang. I haven't seen any clubs he's linked with. Stay in Saudi, man. Go and join Aubameyang. Aubameyang, go and link up with Lacazette. I'm sure Lacazette's in Saudi. People 4 more likes and we've got 200. We're laughing. It's the duality of trying to get experience when young, but also not being too overexposed and getting injury-prone problems along the way. It's true, but that's why I think once you give or take generally, definitely once you hit 20, but 18, 19, you need to go and get some first team football. You need to obviously pick the right loan, do all of that. Some players, it's not a one size fits all approach. Some players, it's better off to stay at a club and train and mix and blend in that regards. Some players have more of a pathway than others. There's certain biases at certain clubs. Like I would say City and Chelsea, to a degree, it doesn't really matter where you play on a football pitch. They'll always kind of bust them and sell them or whatever. For Arsenal Football Club, we know generally it's the wingers and the tens and the them kind of guys there generally. So there's a lot to do. But what you need to do is be proactive, man. Kyle Edwards, Henry Francis left for free. We should be getting money for them. We hold on for too long. I think Kyle Edwards has gone to Australia. So I hear that. Might as well move to Brum at this rate. Edge, Boston, Harborne will have some yards for you. Edge, Baston. Ain't that what they do cricket in that? Hey, Brum's lit, but I can't go from London to Brum. Brum's probably stuck in 2006. I ain't trying to go on dates in Bullring. People asking me questions. I don't know what's going on. DG can buy a house in SA. I wish. There are definitely better investments than buying a home in North London. Hey, big up Northwest. Listen, I don't want to talk tough, but Kilburn, we love you. Halsden, we love you. But yeah, Northwest is the guys. So we're not on that. We like North, man. Ahmed, I'm pulling DG's leg. Kwame just fucking with you, man. It's cool. Do you think Eze will come next before Madueke? Nah, I think, no. I think Gyökeres through the door. We've heard personal terms have been discussed, but it's not been agreed. I'd say Madueke before Eze, which I feel like vomiting. I'll give Madueke a chance, but bro, come on, fam. Come on, Arsenal. Come to New York. Would love to, actually. Big up New York. It looks a bit like London, to be fair. I don't know why, but I want to go on you lot subway. Interesting stuff. That was well said about the different variables in making it as a footballer. It's techie, bro. It really is techie. The one thing I would say to young players is don't believe the clubs. Be proactive. I could sit here and tell you some players I've interviewed. I know why they're having good careers now, because they have got all they can from the football clubs, but also been very proactive about their development. There's a certain young player that actually made his debut under Mikel Arteta that did a lot of extra training, and they're going to be all right. You can't just rest on your laurels. And unfortunately, these young G's obviously see how cutthroat it is from the jump, but you can be complacent. And for me, why I'm saying this is, it's got to be gut-wrenching, because some people get released early. Like Eze's got released, gone through the cylinders of football, and he's come back. But there's also them guys that have been at Arsenal from 6 years of age. Like, you got to remember, it's like they've been at Arsenal or any football club's been all their life. So if you're there at 6 or 7, you're a little boy, you then become a teenager, you then become a young man, certain man become a man, and then before you know it, you might have your little training session. You might be completely blindsided. The gaffer might say, "Oh, give me 2 minutes in the room. Come into the office. Yeah, we're not renewing your contract." Sometimes it might not even be because you're not good enough. It's because there's not a pathway, or we're bringing in the next one, or there's politics, because there is politics. Sometimes you are the best option in that role, but the shit guy is going to get his chance. Do you know how dirty football is? Sometimes certain heads of academy want you to sign with their brethren's agency. You're not doing that, so you're not getting bossed. Like everything, it's a dirty game, bro. Which is another reason why I always say, if anyone deserves the riches of this thing, it's the footballers. How do you think Ethan's game time will be if we sign all them attacking forwards we're linked with? I don't know, man. But I don't know. I'll be real. I don't know. But we need to find a flipping way for that guy. If Sesko stays at Leipzig and Gabriel Jesus and Havertz leave next season, do you reckon that will go again for Sesko? You could, but I know you can't cut your nose off to spite your face, yeah. But like, you've tried to get him 1 year, he signed a new deal, and he got scared of Kai Havertz. Obviously, I'm being a bit silly, but that happened. This year, Leipzig have taken you around the houses. You might just say, fuck it. It's a bit like Nico Williams. I have no doubt Barca would probably go back in for him again, but could you forgive Barca? You've taken them around the houses twice now, and you're being a bit of a dickhead, aren't you? Pardon my French. Big up, K. Oh, hey, have we got 200 likes? Vamos! I feel like Arteta with a passion thing. Big up you lot, man. If only we can move like you lot in the thing. If we was a football team, we would have won the treble. If I was an 18, 20-year-old getting released from a pro club, I'd be so heartbroken. Most players at that age have all their eggs in the professional player basket, and it's true. And obviously, yeah, it's right. But that's why people have to think about what they're going to do beyond football, because not everyone can be coaches and things like that. And I know the PFA and a lot of clubs have a good exit term strategy, but unfortunately, like in life, there's only so much people can do, and people don't care. That's why you have to do your best. You can't and again, there's biases, because what if I've come, and then again, even if we break it down, because this used to happen, not so much now, but this used to happen. Like Arsenal, we bring through those cute players in the 10s, like them kind of 10s. If I'm a 10 and I'm at Arsenal and I'm playing a certain brand, I might only have clubs that are interested in me, that play that end-to-end football. It's like, imagine Stoke want me. They don't play them days. You're not playing a 10. So it's a 4-4-2. You might put me out wide off the left or off the right. I might not show the best of me. I might not be used to the ball being in the air, because that's another culture shock for these young players that go on loan. It's changing a bit now, but the ball's in the air a lot. Some of these guys only know 1 touch, 2 touch, 3 if you need it max. It's a dirty game. It's a dirty game, man. What do you think will happen to Fabio Vieira? Personally, you never know, but I'd like to think, I imagine he's gone in it, but I don't think he's going to leave. I think he's one of them that might just stay, if I'm honest with you. We might all forget he's at the club and he's just here, but I would like to think for Fabio Vieira, you want to go, much less Arsenal need to move you on. See how we used to react when out with the Mandaman and our song hits. That's how I felt when you saw that Saliba news. I caught the wave. Come on, Kofi. But we can't get excited, though. We need to see him holding the shirt. And again, they know us football fans are desperate to hear positive news like that of all clubs. So these journalists are going to just do mind games. So I hope so, man. I have no doubt there's some level of negotiations going on, but shirts, man. Shirts need to be held. You and Saka, come on, man. I'm looking at Sesko. Funny, to be fair. Havertz is not as bad as they say, but if you're a top striker, you're backing yourself. You're telling me someone that isn't prolific, that is scoring goals, that failed upwards up front, you're scared of him. And I'm sure staying at Leipzig helped you. That's what you wanted to do. But boy, I like the way Gyökeres is moving. I want to take the number 9. I don't want the money. I'm leaving my wife or my girlfriend, who, remember earlier a few months ago, oh yeah, we're going to convince him to stay. He like, safe, yeah. You ain't my girl. You just here for the moment, darling. That's what he was on. That is what he's got, the dog in him. Like, whether it works or not, if he will do all of this to get this move to Arsenal, what the hell is he going to do to score goals? It's not Diego Costa, but it gives me them vibes that you're just on bullying and regulating. And do you know what I like the most about Gyökeres? I'm sure we could waffle about, oh, he pulls out wide and he can hit a free kick and the penalties and the general play and all of that. And this is all valid. For me, it's the idiot goals. It's the ball scrambling in the box. You just bought a yard of space, put it on your left foot, bang, or just go out your right foot, finessed it far or near post. These are them kind of unglamorous finishes are going to make the world of difference for us. My bro came back from a double leg break while at Leicester. He's back up running now, double figures last season. Big him up, wish him all the best. But you see, the football thing, and you got to look after yourself mentally. Double leg break, wish him all the best, man. Speedy recovery, man, on everyone's behalf. You see what I'm saying? Nah, them man are Birmingham and Northwest are stuck in 06. 100%. I think Saudi are moving towards younger players. You look at Gabby Vigo. He went there, made his bread, rocked up at Porto. What's the lad that was at Aston Villa, man? John Duran. He went there, stayed there a couple months, made his bread, back in Europe now. So yeah, you got to do that. Yeah, Kwame has to be an estate agent, man. Has to be an estate agent. He's trying to flog us too many yards. Leaving your girlfriend to join Arsenal is funny. Surely that has to be a fake story. It's not. But realistically, Arteta's going to do matchmaking, man. There's no madness and badness at Arsenal anymore. Oh, I'm going with my girlfriend to Wimbledon. It's all happy-go-lucky, man. We need the man that are on the scandals, bro. The R.I.P. George Best. These kind of brothers. I shouldn't be advocating this, but I think there's a link. We need them guys. No woman is loyal. Do what's best for you, Kings. Shit, you've been heartbroken too, huh? All right, that's the most humblest feeling in this world, you know, when you really big up women. But yeah, man, I don't condone what Lionheart said. DM me, we can talk about this, but dark. It's dark. You realize that you just like all the rest of them. You're not that saucy, man. Your thing is not as different as you thought. Yeah. Shout out to our fans who live in Dalston, Clapton, Homerton, Stamford Hill, Pro Arsenal, also Shoreditch. Stamford Hill, I don't know. That's in the Stamford Hill is quite close to the Spurs ground, you know. I hear it though. Instead of wasting money on Noni Madueke, we should put that money to Hatto. Would make our squad more complete. I mean, we still need attacking additions, but I'm also that. Mbappe took Madrid for a spin and they still signed him. True. But it was a year, pardon me. They effed about for a year and then got him the next year. And to be honest, I actually think football's kind of mad, because imagine you're Kylian Mbappe. You've come through as a footballer and you've got President Macron advising you to stay in England, and there's bare unnecessary stay in France, sorry, and there's bare external pressure. I think Real Madrid might have known that, but you are right. You could spin the block. Yeah, no, don't be a simp. Don't be a simp. Never be a simp. Never, ever be a simp. Respect yourself. Arsenal just said Eze would be the 10, not on the wing. Get him in first, man, and then we do all of that, man. Get him in wherever he needs to. Just make sure Eze is an Arsenal player. You can play him left back as all I care. Now I'm chatting on Arteta. I know you're not listening to me, but don't get any ideas, man. Please don't get any ideas. I do think Liverpool are legitimately interested in Rodrigo. I don't know how much they've got money to do that, how much that affects, how much a move for that would factor into what they've already done. But if they do sell Darwin Núñez for big money and a Luis Diaz, and they probably make a decent little, nothing groundbreaking, but a decent little change soon on Harvey Elliott, 40, 50, anything from 35 to 50 million, they can find the finances. Get Eze home. Facts. He played them for 2 years. Fair enough. Then, yeah, it can happen. But they are Real Madrid, though. They are Real Madrid. But yeah, generally, to be fair, I'm braced to see Nico. Regardless of who signed this season, I'm Barcelona or Arsenal. We're gonna get linked with Nico Williams next summer. I reckon Isaac is gonna get linked consistently with Barcelona. So yeah, I'm journalists. If you're listening, I've given you free content. On that news, though, time's flown, though, man. We've been here for an hour and 40 minutes. I'm sure you lot are bored of hearing my voice. I'll get the timestamps in. I'll obviously cut up the part where we went over the news. Tomorrow I should have Lee Judges, and I should have Kenny Ken and DJB. So yeah, man, we're always working, we're always getting content out. I'm gonna get something to eat now, and then I'm gonna get back to working via Premiere Pro on some edited piece I want to do with Zubamendi and Gyökeres. But without you lot, the chat's dead. So big up you lot, man. Especially today, man. There's been good super chats. You lot have supported, hitting the like button, hitting the targets. Big up you lot, man. DG Nation. This ain't the DG Nation badge, but one love. I did see someone comment on the last live stream here that I haven't showed my goal in a minute, but anyone looking for a fullback, Crystal Palace, forget Josh Nichols. I'm here, man. And in fact, furthermore, Tomiyasu got released. Amos can get 25 grand a week with bonuses. Come on. One love.